Welcome to the Mass Journal. I'm the Masses, and this is my trading journal based on my trading perspectives, my trading experiences, and the motto is improvement, maintenance, and victory. In today's video, hopefully my phone doesn't jam. We want to talk about routine. So I'm in day 11. I don't work on weekends. Obviously, I do because what traders we work. We work 365, 7 times, 7 days a week. Anyways. But what I mean, I don't work on weekends. I mean, I don't trade. I don't think much about the markets during the weekend. Nor do I forecast. I don't do none of that. The market is going, it's going there. No. The market ain't doing that. The market ain't doing that. So we forecast. We don't forecast. I just got disturbed. I saw something. Anyways, we want to talk about routine today and how we are building that routine. I'm at day 11. First, we need to understand why am I carrying on regardless of a blown account. Every year, as a trader, you learn something. Every year, as a trader, you become better. Now, where you are in your trading will explain how better you become. I don't know how to put it. Let's put it like this. If I'm a beginner in any endeavor, improving is going to be hard from my perspective. From an objective perspective, it's going to be easy because you're a beginner. You need to improve 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the goal is to find you. In any industry, in any endeavor, the goal is to find you. You who is the master, you who is capable. That's the goal. Now, the more you commit to this particular industry, excuse me, you become competent. Then when you become competent, you start realizing yourself and, excuse me, the steps that it took you to get there. And then you also realize the steps that it takes to maintain that or to eventually take it a step further. Now, where I am, I'm no longer at the novice perspective where I need to objectify my progress. Obviously, I do, but I understand what I'm objectifying because now I understand where I'm at. And that's the reason we journal. Now, here's the thing. When I did my first project, or when we did our first project, because there was 3 other people besides me, so we were 4. When we did this, everything was new, whenever you learn, or whenever I learn, I would conjure up some information, experience, my trial and errors, and then combine them and create training material. This training material will teach me on how my profitability has to go. Or should I say that's one thing I created. I created what we call program training, which is a learning program or guidance program, which gauges me on what I need to focus on in terms of my next attempt, or whenever I do attempt. This is as far as I have gone in terms of understanding and experience. So understanding and experience is also routine. Because the market is inefficient, you have to be routined. But it's also efficient because the day gets boxed in. Today is one day, tomorrow is the second day. Just like 90 days is actually 90 days in the market. It's just how you make the profit is different. I can choose to collect profit like, 200 every day until day 90, until my account is scalable. Or I can choose to trade in a fluent manner where today I make no money. For the next 10 days, I make no money. After 10 days, I make 20,000. After 10 days after that, I'm losing like 3,000, then make 30,000. An example, you find $900, make 40,000. How do you make that? You can either make it by collecting profits consistently. You can either make it by leveraging consistently. It's different methods of attaining profit. Now, understanding this, you have to create a routine. Your routine is usually created by your strategy. Again, I want to say this out loud. Your strategy is not the reason you win. Your strategy is the reason you understand why you win. Now, your strategy can lose all its traits after you've developed it because, again, it's about context and how context reacts to what's been given. Or should I say it's about context reacting to context. If the context is a W, how does the market react to that W? So that's basically what it is. We don't know. We don't know. So your strategy tells you your routine. Now I trade the hourly. Primarily, my primary focus is the hourly and the daily. These are my two main focus. Are they my most lucrative time frames? No. My most lucrative time frames are the M5 and the H4. But the daily and the H1 control my routine. What I need to do, how I need to do it. Now, routine is simple. Okay, I wouldn't say it's simple. I would say, since I started the creation of my aggressive trading system, because I want to integrate, scalping into my trading, because it makes more money. It does. I also have to understand routine. And routine is understanding that there's certain things that don't change, that I have to follow. Your lifestyle creates the trader. The trader creates the success. So what are you living? What are you doing to ensure that you're en route? I used to say this on the shows that I make. Don't just trade because you fund it. Fund it, then trade. It's a very significant statement to understand. Trading because you fund it is because whenever I have money, I'm going to fund it and try to make as much money as possible. It never works out. It doesn't work out like that. Now, I'm one against restrictions. Too much restrictions in trading cause failure. You will lose if there's too many restrictions in your trading. My aggressive trading strategy is what's teaching me this. And it's because of the experience I've had in the market. I've traded so many charts, so many times. I understand that the best type of trading happens when you have freedom. Freedom to experiment. Freedom to fail. As you trade. Now, trading has multiple perspectives and multiple areas that you can reference from. You could be a trader that's not trading, that's improving structure and strategy. You could be a trader that's just not improving anything, that's just waiting for funding in order to attempt and see where you go wrong, which is a trader that never improves. You never want to improve like that. You're always going to move around in circles, chase strategy after strategy. But a trader that has a feedback mechanism, a feedback loop, even if they experiment on multiple strategies, they have that freedom. Why? They're disciplined enough. So it comes down to this. Good trading is trading that is so disciplined, yet so free. But you cannot be free if you don't have discipline. I cannot utilize multiple strategies if I cannot record, measure, and manage them. I cannot risk as I please if I don't understand profit accumulators, that time produces profit, leverage produces profit, context produces profit. Understanding that factor and understanding that confluence also produces profit. Now, when I say confluence, it's obviously in trading. Confluence is the amount of things that align in your favor in order to take a particular trade. But when I say confluence, I'm talking about your direct strategy, your confluence, your direct sets of alignments to get a trade. Confluence is when you've decided to focus more on strategy more than anything else. And I say this again, as much as you focus on strategy, if you have a structure, your trading should have some sort of theorems around that structure. That if I'm trading for 3 months, month one, my focus should be purely on coordination, structural coordination. This is confluence trading, structural coordination. And I only want to understand how to trade my confluence. And the best way to do that without pressure is to utilize the smaller slot size. Because it's more manageable when you lose, and it's easier to handle when you win. You don't get overzealous. The month two, more conviction. Now, you cannot execute trades with more conviction if you're not confident in your trades. Profitability doesn't happen unless you are profitable in the moment. And obviously, you get profitable in the moment by understanding that, usually when I trade, this doesn't work. Usually when I do trade, this does work. When I trade, this doesn't work. This does work. And that's how you create your structure. As much as you've never been profitable, there are certain things that ensure that you win a trade. There are certain things that ensure that you're always on the positive side. Besides that, there's information out there to actually learn from. Your trading wizards, your Trade Wisdom, Tom Trades, Swag Trades, SMB Capital, one of the best trading platforms to ever learn from. Those guys are amazing because they don't teach just direct YouTube technical analysis. This is support and resistance. They teach you what trading actually is. There's no such thing as support or resistance. The market just happened to be a support and happened to be a resistance. Every point in the market is 50-50. Your trade is a potential high and a potential low at every given point, regardless of what the market is. Because your trade, the market is going to decide or deem it a name that this was a buy, this was a sell. And you can only find out if you participate in the trade. This also tell you that you don't necessarily need to understand the trade to be right. You don't necessarily need to know the trade to be right. You just have to be part of the trade to be right and manage the trade. And it doesn't matter how the outcome came about, because today won't matter tomorrow. Because tomorrow you have to do this again to ensure that you win. So a routine is making me understand that there's certain things that I shouldn't change. Besides, I shouldn't change. Every day is going to be different. I shouldn't be attached to the day. And I feel like that was one of my biggest problems, that I want to be attached to routine so much that if my routine is perfect, I have that W. Because when you learn confidence, which is a stage of trading, I have 4 stages of trading, which is the novice, which is the one that's understanding and learning, the dumb optimist. And I don't want to call him the dumb optimist because it takes a lot of courage to actually start in a new industry. A lot of professional seasoned traders like dissing new traders like you because they went through a specific route when they started. As a novice trader, you're not a bad trader. And the thing is, as a novice trader, you can beat all these 3 traders because trading is literally about making profit. It's about moving moving funds to capital. Then the second phase is just about maintaining that capital consistently. There's just 2 phases to trading. It's not about discipline, consistency, alignment, philosophy of science. No. Funding to capital and then capital consistently. That's what hedge funds do. That's what institutional traders do. Everything else is just noise. But the reason you go through all these things is because you need to develop the proper skill, character, and belief. Because there's, more defined structures within the trading space that allows you to grow funding to capital, that allows you to grow capital consistently, or protect capital consistently, or maintain capital consistently. So routine is understanding that there's certain things that shouldn't change. Like, I say again, a great trader is what makes a great trading career. If you're a great trader, you want to make a great trading career because your process can make you take small losses. Your process can help you understand the context that's available right now. Your process cannot move your account from point A to point B. You do. And this comes down to who are you, what are you doing, where you at in life. This would be, what do you do on a day-to-day basis? How do you view yourself? What beliefs do you have around money and the way you achieve that money? Again, it's not just necessarily about the beliefs that you have and everyone else has, but towards you, how do they reflect yourself? So my goal is that there are certain things I'm not going to change. Like, I have to train, but I'm not going to train twice a day. That's stupid. I already did that. I understand what it's good for. When do I need it? I'm going to do, body workouts in the morning. But I have to set a clock because my journaling is moving in motion, which I'm going to explain in another video. What do I mean by my journaling is moving in? Let me just explain it here. Here's the thing. You fund. Trading is inefficient. You could blow anytime. But you set out dates for assessments. First, I used to say, given that you blow at day 10, you restart. But that's stupid because the calendar doesn't restart when you fail. Time doesn't restart when you fail. And the thing is, the market has to find you at a specific groove, certain mojo. Usually, this mojo you gain it when you get your first big win or you get your first good trade. So understanding this is that if you blow on day 10, you've been journaling from day 1 until day 10. The remaining 80 days cannot just be flushed out. Trading is inefficient. You could have blown from day 0 to 10, but you could make all the money that you've planned to make from day 10 to 25. Because the context of the market from that particular moment is unique and might be unique to the nature in which you trade and in which you are most successful. Now, if the market finds you, or if the job finds you while you are active in the correct avenues, you're going to come into the market with a sense of confidence. Now, if you cancel, let's say now you blow 10 accounts, you've canceled 10 times, those are 10 failures in a row. The failure is assessed after the 90 days. Saying you want to assess is because the account is blown is stupid. That's why I say, whether you have 25,000, whether you have $25, you still have to trade. It's never been the funding. It's always been the trader. You still have to trade regardless of how much you have. And you still have to move that funding into a desired capital. And after moving that funding into a desired capital, you still have to trade consistently, because having 200 grand and not knowing what to do with it is stupid. You're going to blow that money. You're going to lose that money. And you don't want that. So you want to be an industry mogul. That's how you do it. When you do set out a goal, 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, this is me explaining routine. So routine does not break. Regardless of you blowing, you carry on until the designated end time period to keep yourself en route, to keep yourself in check. Because the job is not just the trading. Trading is just one aspect of the job. The thing that makes a successful trader is everything else around the trader. I have to train. Gonna train. I have to journal. I have to interact with my journals. I found out some of my journals look stupid as fuck. I have to fix that. This is part of the job. Now I have to put out time for the jobs that I set up. Every day at 9, I train. No negotiation. Because I train for 40 minutes. If I'm training twice, I'm training 40 minutes and 25 minutes. 25 minutes weights, 40 minutes boxing and body weights and whatever. Killer workout. You know, it's gotta be hard, because in trading, you usually do things that you don't want to do. Like trading in a losing streak. Your process cannot help you trade out of a losing streak. Your process can only help you win and lose generally. But everything else, everything spectacular is you. Small losses, big wins, it's you. You do that because the context tells you that today, better protect your account. But if you don't listen and you say everything's based on process, you're gonna go crazy. So also routine is the same way. Excuse me. Everything is based on routine. But your life ain't a routine. That's the thing to understand. And as much as I train every day at 9, it doesn't mean that I should be looking forward to training at 9. The only thing I should be doing is ensuring that I make the decision at 9 whether to train or not, and I move on from it. Because it's set on the journal. Make sure that I'm journaling, I'm interacting with my journals, and I move on. Make sure that I'm interacting with my videos, and I move on. That's routine. Routine gives you, sets the reasons for why you do certain things. Now, I do these things because it makes me a better man. They say, look, 15, something about covetousness. Do not let what you have make you feel better about yourself. It's who you are. And who you are is usually what you do. Yes, what you have can help you do what you do more, but it's usually what you do. So I'm going to set out a routine. My life is fairly simple now because I've gone through the threshold of trading, you know, things that are necessary. And I'm no more in the perspective of my progress is objectified. I know what I need to objectify in order to have progress. So it becomes vice versa. First, you push as much until your progress is objectified to see that, yes, you are now the expert, you're now the general. And then you move from there, and then now you, the routine itself, and can choose what needs to be objectified. What needs to be objectified right now, besides my great looks and, you know, my physique, is my brain, my journal. My journals have to be in order. and they have to be in an order which makes sense. That which journals go where, which journals go where. Right now, obviously, there's work I've already done. There's journals that are already complete. But because I know one I need to objectify, I'm going to break it down into more sensible things. Like the training, program training. Program training has to be a deep. I have a foundation again. It's called LPC. 4 stages of learning. First, shadow work. The trader develops the skill as the novice through utilizing a strategy and attempting a goal. And then they find out that trading is not just that straightforward. And number 2, foundational. This is learning how to interact with the market. You start teaching yourself the required strategies that actually breed results. Time frames also play a role. Understand time frames. Understand the 2 types of risks. Small risk, which is SMC, smart money concepts. My view of smart money concepts is the usage of actually smart money concepts: stop losses, min lot size, profit taking, trail stops, and break evens. These are smart money concepts because they make you money. Understand these concepts in the market because they ensure that you have large wins and small losses. Then number 2, fractionalization. This is the perspective of fluency when it comes to trading. You fractionalize your account by understanding how risk per trade. You understand first that there are different sizes of trades. Some trades are going to be larger in terms of size and stop loss. Some trades are going to be short. I hate this sun. What is the sun doing? Some trades are going to be shorter in terms of stop loss. You need to know how to interact with those type of opportunities. This is direct context, aligned context. And then we move on to Project 90. Project 90. This is you attempting to not blow a specific account over a period of 90 days to see how you actually grow an account. Because profitability doesn't eventually happen. You make it happen. And what's understood is that you could blow during this 90 days. Now, does that mean you start off from 0? Fuck no. You don't start off from 0. If you blew on day 23, you carry on from day 23. Because from day 1 until 23, it was journaled. We don't kick you out of the school because you made a mistake during June. We don't kick you out of the court because you made a mistake during the match or during the season. You carry on the season. Fund again. Now, Project 90 and Project 92 are different. It's the same thing, but done differently. 91, we're more lenient because it's the first time that you're doing it. When I say we, I'm talking about me. Also you, when you create it for yourself, be more lenient in your first attempt. That, okay, I do understand that there's certain things that I'm not perfect in, but do not be lenient in the part of completing the course, and do not be lenient in the part of not blowing. If you blow, take it hard, like, oh shit, I blew, and then restart from where you left off. If you blew at 6K, you restart day 23, 6K, and you carry on until you conclude the program. Then Project 92 is the same thing, but this time with a real account. You try to not blow over a period of 90 days. Now, the difference with the real account and a demo account is that if you blew at day 23, 6K, you have to start day 23 with your initial deposit. That's the only difference. And that shouldn't be heavy on you because the market is inefficient. The market can pay you that 6K in the next couple of days and you are back on track. So yeah, that's basically what it is. So I wouldn't understand that if I didn't take the decisions that I needed to take in the market space. Say no. So it's a weird one. I can't necessarily give out a route of trade success, but I can give up, ways to, cultivate your own. I can't say follow this route. This is the only way to succeed, but I can tell you the things that, okay, this works works more for this, and this works more for that because of how long I've been in this in the industry. So right now, my only focus is that I just need to create my routine, prioritize certain things, and remove all distractions. Here's the thing: I'm not on social media. The only thing I do is post YouTube videos. The reason I'm not on social media, there's nothing social media can give me or help me with. One of the worst tools ever for a trader is social media. Do not use these weird social media platforms, Instagrams, TikToks, and all that. Use YouTube, where you actually utilize your attention span and actually learn something. And then you can say, okay, you know what? Because it requires a lot of critical thinking. You actually have to think. The first time I got into trading, I thought, because it's work from home, work from anywhere. It's freedom. It's gonna be fun and games. I can just not think, not work. There's no such thing. And you find out that the thinking and the working is the actual fun part about trading, because you find out that it's not just surface level profit, that I just want profit. It's actually structure. A structure that you actually build. Structure, something you can actually be proud of, because that structure is also your character. It shows you who you are. So when we do say that the trading is the personality, the persona, it's the decisions you make within the industry and outside of it. Like, you have to be a better person. If I don't train, my head gets messed up. I get derailed. If I don't journal, I don't get the motivation to carry on. When you see progress, you get motivated to push. So progress is also the journaling, the participation of your routine, the completion of the program. That gives you drive, that gives you character. So yeah, I wanted this video to be more organized, but it is what it is. Another thing that I'm trying to fix right now is my videos. Every 30-minute plus video is a live chat, because I saw myself, once I get to the 25-minute mark, I start rambling about more topics, and then every 10-minute topic is direct teaching. And again, I have to work on it. Why do I work on it? The character is chosen. You know, there's certain things that come into your mind that make you express certain things in a specific way, which is, you always have to pay attention to your character. And yeah, that plays a role. If a hedge fund gave you $100,000, would you still be able to trade? And it's another story I'm going to tell, that there's I don't know, I signed up to some, I don't know when did I sign up to this, but I signed up to some prop firm, and they gave me $100,000 to trade. And I find the email like 5 days later, and there's like 5 days left to trade. I check out the leaderboard. The first guy is making like 700K. I trade first day, I make 10 bends within like a couple of hours, because I'm edgy, obviously. And then I see that there's more trades. I try taking more trades. These people are busy closing my trades. I take more trades. These people are busy closing my trades. And I'm there, I'm like, what is this? And this is why I never support prop firms. I never traded prop firms, because there's too many restrictions. The restrictions are not there the restrictions don't make you a better trader. You go through understanding the restrictions, and then you become a great trader. I don't know how to explain this, but it's like this. After completing Project 19, because there's so many restrictions, month 1, focus on coordination. That's why you use the smaller slot size. Month 2, focus on fractionalization. That's why you're more confident from month 1. Month 3, it's all 3. The main focus is to journal, record, find A+ setups, utilizing these 3 time frames to not break them for anyone or no man. Things like that. That's not the route to profitability. That's the route to create the character that, given that I face this obstacles, I know how to react. Confluence is not there to tell you this is how profitability is attained. Confluence is just there to tell you that, given that you face these interactions in the market, you know how to deal with them. Prop firms are stupid as shit. Yes, they help you with your funding, but they are stupid as shit. It's better to trade your drawdown, because it's not really a drawdown. Your account was built to fluctuate. The real drawdown is not hitting your goal. The real drawdown is wasted time. And these guys, they put so many restrictions. I could have made like fucking 300 bends on the first day, because I'm just that better at those other guys. And now they're sending me messages like, yeah, we breached your account because you are breaking rules. Here's the thing. What rules are you giving me to a free market? I'm the one who makes the rules there. It's my money, you know. So that's why I don't trade prop firms. So I always emphasize this perspective. I'd rather trade small accounts consistently, because your account is not going to be small forever. You just need one good form, one good sequence. And a good sequence could be like 7 days worth of profit. And it happens all the time. It's not, the market is always... That's trash. Stop listening to traders that don't know what they are doing. Go into the market will teach you what you need to learn. I say this, I'm on day 11. I have to create a day 10 video, and I have to create a day 10 video. No one is going to teach you how to trade better more than your account, your broker, and yourself in real time. When you do fund, your broker is going to tell you what is possible when it comes to your account. When you do trade in real time, the market is going to tell you what is possible. And when you do trade, you want to tell yourself that, do I really want to handle this? Yes or no? So yeah, routine tells you what you need to handle, what you should handle, can handle to develop the proper trading character. Again, it's a bit jaggled up because I'm still also learning this thing. The motto is improvement, maintenance, and victory. As long as that is there, I cannot fall out of line. Even if I do fall out of line, I come back. I was watching some of my videos. I have like 16 extra videos. You're all trash. And I have to be honest with myself with those things. There's just some trash videos on my phone. I have to delete them. And this is because I didn't necessarily watch them after, making them, which is the process. You have to watch them. That's the thing that beats us traders. The tedious work we don't want to do. But everything else is nonsense we want to do. I want to follow my process to that T because they say if you lose but you see a W, the market is here. You're losing 5K. You want to let your confidence take your 5K. No, nigga, I'm going to close my trade with 1K, with a 1K loss. Wait for the next trade or stay out of the market for the next 3 days. That's trading for your confidence can't tell you to do that. But your journal will tell you that you did that. Then given in the future you interact with something similar, you know how to interact with it. You know how to interact with it. So yeah, today I also got a message of some guy telling me that they flipped $946 to 40K. And the first thing that comes into my mind is how? And not how in a bad way, but given that I put myself in that person's shoes, I always ask myself, how would I have done it? And then I get the answer that if I put out time constraints with this 40,000, I'll have to utilize it in a specific way, which is collect profit consistently until probably day 60 and then start scaling because I have enough skill, confidence, belief, rapport. Or I could just be fluent. First trade, I risk $450. I play around with sessions. I make $2,000. Second trade, I play around with sessions. I risk $500. I make $2,000. Again, this one is a bit more complicated, but it's another way of making money. So routine helps me understand when I can use this, when I is it the right time, or when is it the wrong time. So I don't know. I just need to find a system where I can put out my routine in line. So yeah, that's basically what it is. The masses.